I just spent money on something incredibly stupid. Inside this box is a broken PC I bought off eBay, and the only real reason I got it is because it was $10. Yeah, 10 bucks. Of course, with a price like that, the chances of saving it are basically a coin toss, or honestly worse. But I used up whatever luck I had left and ordered it anyway, hoping, just maybe, I could bring it back to life and turn it into a backup PC. At first glance, it looks like an HP SFF desktop. Small, compact, nothing too fancy. The outside has a few scratches here and there, but honestly it's still in pretty decent shape. And that gave me a tiny bit of hope that maybe, just maybe, the internal components survived. But here's the weird part. There's no model name, no stickers, nothing to tell me what this thing actually is. And what really worries me is the I/O panel. It literally has mud on it. Plus the power supply looks filthy, like it's been through a flood or stored in someone's basement since 2012. So yeah, my confidence isn't exactly high right now. But alright, let's crack open the side panel and take a look at what's going on inside. I honestly can't believe this. The inside actually looks pretty clean. Nothing like the disaster I was expecting based on the outside. The internal layout is surprisingly smart too. Compact, organized, and way more thoughtful than I thought HP would go for in a machine this old. The power supply can be removed without screws, like it just pops out with a latch. The hard drive bay also uses a swivel mechanism, so swapping drives is super easy. This thing actually came with two drives. One tiny 150GB hard disk drive, and the other one, well, I was too lazy to pull it out, so forgive me for that. There's also a lonely 1GB DDR 3-stick inside. Honestly, I'm amazed it survived this long. But hey, the board has 4 RAM slots, so upgrading shouldn't be a problem at all. And of course, it's powered by a mighty 240-watt PSU. And the CMOS battery, yeah, someone definitely stole it. Or it fell out, or it escaped. Who knows? The first thing I had to do, of course, was try turning it on to see if it still works. But nope, the PC completely ignored me. No lights, no fan spin, no beep. Absolutely nothing. My immediate suspect? That filthy mud-covered power supply? So I pulled it out to check the inside and wow, I was not prepared. It was packed with dried mud. Like this thing had been underwater for a long time and someone just let it sit until it turned into dirt cement. At this point, it's pretty obvious the PSU is totally dead. And honestly, I wouldn't trust it to power anything, even if it did turn on. So the plan now is to grab a different power supply and test the remaining components to see if anything else survived. On the first boot attempt, the fan actually spun, but the system kept instantly shutting off over and over again. That made me suspect the RAM might be loose. So I pulled the stick out, reseated it in the same slot, and yeah, nothing changed. Same issue. Alright, so let's put the RAM aside for now and move on to the CPU. When I removed the cooler, the thermal paste looked surprisingly fresh, like someone just gave this thing a little spa treatment. I touched the CPU to check if it was generating any heat, and sadly, it was completely cold, not a single bit of warmth. So my guess is the CPU has joined the power supply in the dead components category. To be sure, I swapped in another processor with the same socket, Intel i7-5500, just to see if there's still any hope left for the remaining parts. I honestly couldn't believe it. The system actually posted, and the display came on. Sure, it threw a couple of warnings about the missing CMOS battery, but hey, it's alive. So next, I wanted to test that little 150GB HDD it came with, to see if it had any life left. To my surprise, the system detected it instantly. Full capacity, no weird noises, so I tried booting into Windows, and somehow, Windows 7 still works perfectly fine on it. The drive is slow, old, tiny, but it's alive. Only problem is, it's locked behind a password. And look, unless there are 1,000 Bitcoins on that drive, I'm not touching it. Just kidding. I'm not messing with anyone's personal data regardless. So we'll set that drive aside and use my own SSIE to boot in and check the system specs properly. Since the CPU in this thing is pretty weak, it's just a Core 2 Duo running at 2.93 GHz, I decided to add a dedicated GPU to help it run smoother and hopefully make gaming a little more realistic. I slapped in a GT 1030, 2 GB. It's definitely not a top-tier card, but it's more than enough to let this old CPU stretch its legs and actually use its full power. As for the RAM, I tried installing an 8GB stick, but the system absolutely refused to boot with it. It just kept beeping non-stop, which usually means the motherboard has some kind of compatibility issue with that memory size. So yeah, this board clearly isn't a fan of modern RAM upgrades, so I ended up having no choice but to run it with just 1GB of RAM. And honestly, that's basically unusable today. I opened one Chrome tab and it immediately ran out of memory and crashed into a blue screen. Yeah, that's the level we're dealing with. I then tried installing a 2GB stick, and thankfully the system actually booted. It recognized the full 3 gigabytes of RAM, which isn't much, not even close, but at least it gives me a temporary setup so I can finish this video. Alright, let's jump into the performance test. Starting with Minecraft, running at 32 chunks and 1080p resolution. Surprisingly, it managed to push around 30 FPS. Not great, but hey, it moved. But the happiness didn't last long. The system instantly ran out of RAM and boom, another blue screen. So, for the next test, I dropped the render distance down to 8 chunks to see if it could at least stay alive. And yeah, with lower settings, the PC stopped crashing, but the CPU plus RAM bottleneck hit hard. Average FPS dropped to around 15 FPS. Constant stutters, lots of lag. Basically unplayable. So I went even lower and switched graphics to fast. This helped a lot. FPS jumped to around 35 FPS and the game felt much smoother. Current FPS even hit 60 at times. To see how far we could push it, I dropped everything to the minimum. 2 chunks, the absolute lowest. And finally, we hit around 100 FPS, which is honestly impressive for a potato like this. Lowering the resolution boosted FPS even more. And the funniest part? When I blew up a single TNT block, the PC actually survived without freezing. For a $10 eBay machine with 3 gigabytes of RAM, that's a pretty respectable achievement. Next, I moved on to a much more graphically demanding game. Doom. Even though the CPU was running at 100% the entire time, it surprisingly held steady. No major drops, no freezing, nothing chaotic like the previous test. At 1080p, the system managed to stay around 40 FPS, which honestly isn't bad at all for hardware this old. And if you want even more FPS, you can always drop the resolution to 720p, and the game becomes noticeably smoother. For what I paid, there's really nothing to complain about. Sure, this CPU struggles with newer titles, but it still knows how to make budget builders like me feel appreciated. You can also enjoy some classic shooters like Left 4 Dead. At 1080p, it actually hits over 60 FPS, which is pretty impressive for a machine this ancient. There are moments where it drops to around 30 FPS, usually when there are tons of NPCs or explosions happening at the same time. But overall, it's still totally playable. Nothing too heavy, nothing too painful, just a surprisingly smooth experience for a $10 rescue PC. So, after everything, what did I learn from buying this $10 mystery PC off eBay? Honestly, it was a gamble. And like any gamble, there's always risk. You might get something that boots, something you can fix, or you might just get a box of mud and disappointment. But for me, the real value wasn't just the PC. It was the experience. I got to take something completely abandoned, totally forgotten, and bring a part of it back to life. And that's kind of the fun of budget tech. You never really know what you're going to get, but you always learn something along the way, whether it's troubleshooting, PC repair, or just accepting that sometimes your $10 are gone forever. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this little adventure, drop a comment below. Would you take the risk and buy a $10 dead PC? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.